So today what I will do is, right, say in the last two sessions we discussed about a couple of modules available in your quality center. We discussed about your requirements, we discussed about your test plan and your test lab. We discussed about that. So now what I will do is, I will be showing you those two modules in your tool itself, like how exactly you will work with that model, with that each and every module. As a tester, what is your responsibilities? The complete demo I will go through with this. And as I said, this week we are completing this quality center, and also you will be getting your time to hands-on to go through this tool. And also I will tell you one thing, guys. If you go through this tool one time, that's it, right? If you go through that one time, then you will be comfortable with that tool for any project and any number of times. Fine. So we talked about this test plan, and we talked about your test lab. That is nothing but your execution. So here very important thing is, right, you need to understand your defects. If you remember earlier, right, I used to say that whenever if you are doing your testing activities, very two primary responsibilities. What is that? One is test case writing. You should be very comfortable in writing the test case. That is the first point. That is very important. And then you should be very comfortable in tracking the defects. Tracking the defects is nothing but like you are executing your test cases. Whenever if I am executing my test cases and my test case is failed, once my test case is failed, then your defects comes into the picture. This defect tracking, you should be very careful and you should be very good. So here what I will do is, every time whenever if I am finding the defects, what is the defect? Defect is nothing but deviation from the requirement. Whenever your expected and actual values are not matching, then we will say that it's a defect. Now once you are finding the defect, you have to make sure that each and every defect is tracked in your tool, whatever may be the tool. Here we are talking about that ALM. ALM is nothing but application lifecycle management, and here we need to track the defect. Now what you will do is, once you are finding the defect, you will go to your tool and then you will log the defect as a new defect, and you can assign to that particular developer, and developer will fix it. I will show you that all those tracking and all, how to do that in the tool and all I will tell you. But you should be very proactive in this defect management. See, every time once, right, defect you are raising, it will go to the developer. Once he is fixing, and then once it will come to the QA team, as a tester, you should be closing your defect on time, and also you are updating your defect on time. Each and every defect you have to update with the comments, proper comments. You cannot simply close the defect and all. I will show you how to track the defect in the tool and all. I will show you that. And over the weekend, this next 2 days, you have to spend some time on this tool. Play with the tool, right? Just play with the tool. It's a what do you call? It's our tool. What you can do is just go there, play with that, add whatever you want, delete whatever you want. 1 second, please. He's calling. 1 second. So here, right, whenever if you are finding the defects and all, you have to track it in your bug tracking tool, and usually you have to do on time. Otherwise what will happen is your lead will come back and they will ask, so what is this defect status? What is the status of this defect? Why this defect is closed? Every time you have to write the comments. Now I will show you quickly, I will show you that how to maintain your defects. And one more thing is, next 2 days, like, please spend some time on this tool. As I said, like you can play with this tool, you can delete it, you can add it, whatever you want, you can do that. Anyway, it's a trial version. You can play whatever you want. Now, here what you have to do is you have to maintain your defects in your tool. So if this maintaining, right, this defect maintaining, any tool will be same. Like it can be Quality Center, it can be Jira, or it can be TFS, or it can be XYZ. Everywhere the process will be very same. Whatever I'm showing in the tool, the same story will come here. Now you will what do you call, you will track all your defects in your Quality Center. One more thing is very important thing in your Quality Center is, once you are finding the defect, I will go to the tool, we will log the issue. How to log the issue? We will be logging. See, you remember, right, on the other day we discussed the different defects we found in our application. Now what you need to do is take all the defects, go to the tool, track each and every defect. That is the job we are going to do. We will do that practically. That means just imagine that you are working with the application, you are finding the defects, you are logging the defects. We will do all those things. Now immediate question will come, right, when you're finding the defects. Okay, I tracked my defects. Immediately what you have to do is you have to link this these defects with your failed test cases. You have test cases in your Quality Center, you have your defects. Now what you have to do is you have to link which defect is related to which test case, which defect is related to which requirement. You have to link each and everything. That is important, because why you are doing like this means, when you are linking like this, then only you will get a proper reports for your application. And one more point I want to tell you, for any test management tool, you will get the reports. And these reports means, right, they will automatically create the reports for your test summary. The tool will create automatically, and then you can share with your management. So if you want to get your reports accurately, you need to have all the information in the tool accurate. Then only you will get the accurate reports. So always what you have to do is, once you are finding the defect, link the defect with each test case, whatever the test case failed, and then link with your requirements. Now when it comes to that defect, right, now what you can do is, your screen will look like this, and in this screen what you can do is you can log a defect. That means go to your defects module. I told you 4 main modules. As a tester, I need to understand these 4 modules. Maybe, right, I may be having other modules also in the latest version, but my intention is to understand these 4 modules: requirements, test plan, test lab, and my defects. Now in this defect, what I will do is I will be logging the defect. The other day I showed you that bug reports. The same manner, what you can do is, here you can see all your fields here. Let me zoom this. Here also you will be having your fields, like what is this defect all about, and then it will talk about that type of the defect, what is the priority, what is the severity, who found this defect, when you found this defect, what is the description of this defect. All those things, right, you will be giving while creating a defect. Give all the information and click on submit. So what will happen is, here you are select, here you can see that assigned, there is that. So there is that assigned to, yeah, you can see that assigned to. Now what you can do is you can give your developer name. Once you are giving this developer name, that will be assigned to that particular developer, and the developer has to fix the defect. Usually for each and every change in the tool, there will be an email communication to the entire team. So what is the change happen and who did the changes? So that information will go to all the team members in the email. Okay, so once you log the defects, you can see something like this. See, you may be finding n number of defects in each and every build, right? Once you are getting your build for your testing purpose, and you are testing your application with each and every functionality for your test cases, probably, right, you may be getting a lot of issues. And don't forget to log that each and every defect, whether it's a small defect or a big defect, everything, track it. Don't ignore it. Okay. And if you need any information, yes, you can get in touch with your lead or your project manager and get the clarification from them and then log it. That is fine. But don't ignore to log any of the defect. Now here you can see all your defects. Once you log the defects, it will come like this. These are all my defects. Okay, these are all my defects. And now here, right, what it will is, it will show you that complete defects, like whatever the defects are available in your quality center. Now what you can is, very important point is, once you are finding any defect in your quality center, you need to link with your failed test cases as well as your requirements as well. You need to do that. That is your job. Now what I will do is, I will be showing you that all the stories now. If you see here, you can see my tool, right? This is the latest version. This is the latest version of your quality center. This is the latest version of your quality center. You want me to open from very beginning? Okay. Let me open. Okay. Now I'm opening from very beginning. Let me take one more. Now one more point, right? When you are working with your quality center, you have to open in your Internet Explorer only. It will not work with any other browsers. This you have to remember. Now what you can is, you will be getting your URL. You will be getting your URL. Once you are getting your URL, take your URL and enter your URL whatever given by your lead, right? Once you enter, yes, that means Anu, right, that is not supporting. So we need to install that client browser. I will tell you that how to do that and all. I'm working on it. Okay. For the time being, you can see this tool. You can see this, right? Yeah. For the time being, but if in the worst case, very worst case, I'm telling. So we are trying to give that access in your client machines, like client browsers. At the worst case, if you're not able to do, we will do some alternate for your practice. Okay. Now here what I can do. Now I told you, right, once you join the organization, you will be getting your URL. Use that URL in your any of the IE, and then you can enter your username and password, whatever they have provided. For our application, username is admin, password is admin. So this is the latest version of your ALM. So no need to worry if you join the organization. If you are working with the lower versions or newer versions, absolutely no issues for us. Only thing is, if you are using your lower versions, instead of your application lifecycle management, the name shows quality center. Okay. Now click on authenticate. When you click on authenticate, it will automatically shows which are all the projects you are responsible for. This user is responsible for this particular projects. Click on login. Whichever the projects you are responsible. If you are responsible for multiple projects, then probably you can see multiple projects and multiple domains. Right? This is the job of your admin, quality center admin. Now click on login. When you click on login, then what it will do? It will open your life cycle. That is nothing but ALM homepage. It will open. Okay, it will open like this. Okay, it will open like this. Please have a look, right? We are trying to understand from the tool. Now this is your dashboard. Dashboard, right? I told you, remember, dashboard is nothing but this is the place where you can see the complete reports for your application. So usually this dashboard will be used by your leads or managers to prepare some reports. Then management. This, see here, right, one more point I wanted to tell you guys. So when I say that, right, quality center, when I'm showing that quality center, I told you requirements, what do you call that, test lab, test plan, and defects. And you can see some extra options, but you can ignore that because these extra options, right, they have provided in the latest releases for the different teams, like development team, for the performance testing team. So they added that. Just ignore it. Okay. Now here, First, what I have to do is management. In this management, I have to plan. Okay. Here you are having your management. This is the first module, and as I said you, this is maintained by your manager, project manager. As a project manager, what I will do is I will be maintaining my releases here. I will maintain my releases here. Now you can see here, this is the release. Now we will try to do each and everything. Okay. Now we are planning for so new release folder. I'm planning for let's my release folder. We will give some, like, just imagine that now I'm project manager. I'll say that it's a April release project. So we are working on April release. Okay, April release. Click on OK. So as a project manager, what I will do, right, I'll be planning with the releases, like how we are working with this particular release, and then what is our plan, and also how many cycles we are planning. Everything we will talk here. That means here, if you see here, right hand side, once it is April release is created. Okay. Now here what I will do is, if you want, you can have some description here. This release is planned for. See, if you have any doubt, you can let me know. Planned for April release. This is the latest version of your quality center 12. Okay. So I created my release. So you can also create like multiple releases, like let me create one more release as well. I'll say that this is my June release. So I'm planning for this particular project like 2 releases. Okay. So like this. Okay. This release is planned for June. Okay, I will give like this. Okay, I prepared my releases here. Okay, fine. I will talk about this attachments and all during our work, like test plan, execution, all those stuff. I will talk about that. So here I created my releases. So once you have created your releases, right, now here what you can do is you can talk about, this is my release. Okay, first one is nothing but your June. Okay, and also you can also, if you want, you can also delete it as well. You can also delete it as well. Just right click and then delete it. You can do everything. You can do all the things. Okay. This is the way. If you do little practice on this, you will be very comfortable in working with your application. So I will also give my start and end date. When I am planning my releases, I'm planning from Monday to my release timings. As a project manager, this is my job. I have to provide my, say, April release. We are planning for this April release. We are planning to release on June 19th. This release is planned as April release. I'm giving some description as well. Okay. Click on OK. So it will be creating your release like this. And let me create one more release, because for my particular project I want to give my June release. June or release. So I'm planning for 2 releases, and this will start from June 22nd to June, July, August, September, like this. This is planned for June release. June release. Okay, fine. And if you want, you can also create the folder also. You can create a folder like my project name, and you can mention the required releases for that particular right click. I'm trying to copy paste also. I can also do everything actually. Copy paste also I can do that. Cut, right click, paste. Everything you can do that. See how nicely you can do the things. Okay. Right click. So I'm trying to do everything. Paste. Like this. See? So my project name is Cyclos, and for this project we are planning for 2 releases. One is April release, another one is for your June release, and also I mentioned the dates also. Now this is your project manager task. Once you plan with your releases, now your QA manager or your QA lead will comes into picture, test lead. You can plan for the cycles. What do you mean by cycles? That means how many iterations we will get for our testing purpose. I cannot test entire thing in a single iteration. There will be some iterations, and also even though if I am getting all the functionalities in a single iteration, at least I need 2 cycles. First cycle I will test my entire functionality. Once I am done, I have to retest my defects. For the retesting, they have to give one more cycle. Then only I can test it. Because right, when you're logging your defects, what do you mean by that? The developer will change the code. Once they are changing the code, they will be giving a new application, modified application for you to retest it. So you have to plan your cycles. That's mandatory. Okay. Fine. So for this June release, I'm planning for a couple of cycles. New cycle. What is my cycle? And one more thing, weekend, what time you want to guys have the session? This weekend we need to complete this quality center. Okay, that's like, you can tell me, you can ping me your plan, because right, we wanted to complete the session early, and then we will use our weekend test cycle. Okay. Yeah, Satish, even I am also, I wanted to have the session early, and then we can use the time for other activities. Same time will be late, right, Anu? Okay, so test cycle 1 now. So this is the release date. If you observe this, right, release date, it's Why release? Okay, release start date and end date and all it's available. Now I'm saying that my cycle. What is my cycle here? My cycle is nothing but, okay. Now right click, cycle. That means I'm trying to give the cycles when we are starting and when you are ending. So test cycle. Test cycle is nothing but the start date is when we are planning. Oh, why it is showing that 6:22 and 9:22? Am I selected a wrong one? Yeah. First, I wanted to plan for the cycles for April. Okay. First, let's plan for your this one April releases. So for this April release, they clearly mentioning. Okay, it's showing that release dates whatever you mention while creating your results. So what I will do, I will say here, it is my test cycle 1. This is your lead or manager job. But still you need to understand. Now what I will do, I will say that we are planning this testing activities from April first week to, and here I'm finishing by April 24. This is my planning activity. So this cycle is used for functional testing. Okay. If you want, you can also attach your requirements if you have anything. Right now, no need to concentrate on that. Just we're creating that cycles and releases. See, it's clearly showing that. It's clearly showing that what is this cycle all about. Now, if you observe here, right, when you observe here, see right now what is showing is that requirements assigned to the cycle 0, because right, you never created that requirements and then assign. Once you have assigned, automatically the number will come. That's why I'm telling you, this tool, right, it will track each and everything from all the things throughout your testing, throughout your what do you call application development. Everything will be tracked here. Okay, fine. So now let me create one more cycle, because minimum 2 cycles will be there, right? Just think logically, right? When you get some application for your testing, what you will do, you will test it. When you're testing, you may be finding a lot of issues. When you're finding the issues, right, it will go to your developer and developer has to fix it. When they're fixing, they have to give the updated code. When they are giving the updated code is nothing but new build. They will be giving a new build for you. Then what you can is, you can start testing that application with your new build. So at least I need 2 cycles. That's mandatory. Okay, now what I will do, I will say that one more cycle, test cycle 2. Test cycle 2. Now my start date is, you have to give the dates very properly. You cannot give that random dates and all. When you are giving the dates, you have to give the dates correctly. You cannot give random dates and all. So this is your test lead or manager job. Okay, and this cycle, this cycle is used. This cycle is used, okay, for the bug retesting activities. Bug retesting, one more round of. So I will clearly mention what is the plan for this. One more round of functional testing. See, one more thing, right? If you are having any issues, please ping me. I will repeat it like this. So this is my cycle site plan. Okay, let me plan the cycles for this. Now what we will do is, we will do the complete story. Like, we are planning for the releases, we are planning for your cycles, we will create the requirements, we will create the test cases, all the things we will try to do that. For this also, so cycle 1, so dates and all, see, it's disabled. It will come automatically from your releases. So my release starts from 6/22 I want to start my testing from so and so period. March.
So usually, I saw the date 20. I
Yeah.
saw the date 22nd for release date, isn't it?
22nd
So
is the release
you're
start
putting
date.
the start date as. No, I have one doubt. So in the start date is 29. So what usually they will do in between the period?
Testing.
22nd to 20. What
Yeah.
the work?
Fine. I will tell you one thing. Here release start date and end date means your project will start here and it will end here. It's a kind of sprint. Okay. It will start here and it will end here. During that period, our testing also will comes into picture. My testing will comes into between these dates. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you that. Now, see here, what I am telling is, now your project, right? I am saying that release. Right? When I say that release, for this release, I plan for login functionality. I will plan for search functionality. This is my release plan. Now, as a project manager, what I will do is start date is March 20 and end date is April 25. Okay, that means for this particular release, for this particular requirement, our starting date for the project is 20 and we are closing the project by 25th. Okay, this is the plan. Now, right, your developers, they will start their coding from whatever the date, March 20, whatever. Now what I will do is test cycles I will provide. Now I will say that test cycle is like this. That means during this period, this is test cycle I am talking. During this period, you will be doing your test case execution. Clear the difference between releases and cycles? You got it? You got it, Anu?
No, the release start date is 22nd, isn't it?
Right.
But your starting date is 20.
9.
In between days are there. What actually we will do on that time? Why instead of 22nd, why you're putting 29?
Yeah, that means, right, see, you have some other work also, right? So this is just a testing activity. That means you are executing the test case, you are checking the application. Before that, you may be having a lot of other activities like test case writing, and then you will be doing your reviews, you will be preparing your RTMs, and then even developers also need some time to develop the code. They cannot, if you say that release started 22nd, immediately they cannot give the application for you to test it, right? You got the point?
Okay.
Yeah, see, just think, right, now if you say that release, and that means start date means from today onwards we are working with that particular project. When you are working with that particular project from today onwards, today itself I cannot give that application to you to test it. I need also some time. For developers also need some time. That means from 22 to 29 your developers are developing the code and they will give that application, they will hand over that application by this time. Then I will start my testing on this time and I will complete my testing by this time. That is the meaning of your cycle start and end date. Okay. See, if you have doubt, yeah, looks right, my network is gone. And one more thing is, right, if you have a doubt, you can ask me n number of times. I will tell you. And like whenever if you are asking that question and if your answer is not clearly answered, you can ask me again and again, so that I will try to give the different ways of explanation. Like I will give the different applications, or I will give the different examples to understand that. Okay, like this. So like this, what I'm doing, I'm preparing my cycles for it. Okay, this cycle is used for the bug retesting. So this is the planning of your project manager. Verification testing. Okay. So this is nothing but our planning phase. We are done with the planning phase. We are ready. We are ready for our plan. So this plan is ready, right? When we are starting testing, when we are finishing the testing, when we are releasing that application, ready. So this is your requirements. Okay. And here, right, you can see these libraries. This libraries is especially used for your automation testing. And if you guys are using your QTP, then you can store all your libraries here. Libraries is nothing but functions. Okay. And one more thing is, right, whenever if you're going through that ALM, and if you're not understanding any particular concept, just leave it. That means that we may not use that. Here libraries and repositories, these are used for your automation testing. Okay, like fine. Now this is your management. Once your management is done, see, first dashboard, I told you dashboard is nothing but the reports. You will get all your proper reports for your application. Right now you cannot see anything because nothing is there. So you cannot see any reports here. Going forward, you can create your reports. Once application is ready, once your application test cases are created, execution is done, defects are there, then you can create your reports. Now requirements, now what I will do is I will go to the requirements. So first what I did, I created my releases and then I created my cycles for each release. Now requirements, usually these requirements will be done by business analysts. However, some organizations, even testers also will create the requirements based on the requirement document. Now here I will go here. If you go to the requirements, in this requirements, okay, now you can see that right now it is showing like this. Okay, it's zero, nothing is there, right? Now what is my plan here is, my intention is to create the requirements for the releases whatever I planned. Okay. See, and one more thing is, try to understand from the real-time point of view. This is not just training, because Santosh is having a lot of other plans. So please try to understand from the real-time perspective. Now I'm trying to create some folder name. I will give the same name so that it is easy for me for the tracking purpose. Everywhere I will use the same name. This is the project I am going to work. Why I am telling like this is, I can use the, let me delete this. So here, right, why I'm using the same name means, when I'm using the same name, then for you it is easy. Like, right, everywhere if I'm using the same name, then probably, right, it is easy. So this is my thing. Now I wanted to create the requirements for this. Now let me create the requirements here. Just create the requirements. My requirement is now login. This is my requirement. And you can give a requirement type. What requirement you are planning? This is my functional requirement. It's a functional requirement. Okay, so my requirement type. So as I said, usually this will be done by the business analyst, but sometimes you may be getting a chance to enter your requirements here. So this is my login functionality. Okay, login functionality. This is my requirement functionality. Okay, so this login is used, this is my description I'm writing, this is used to verify whether valid user is able to log in or not into the system. See, don't look into that grammatical mistakes or sentence formation, ignore it, just see the concept. What is that? Pull down. Okay. Yeah, Satish, you can see that. So what you can do is, right, you can functional requirements most of the time, functional or performance requirements. So here I selected my functional requirement. Okay, functional requirement. Okay, fine. Then I will be giving all my details here. So creation time, not required actually. Creation time, all those things and all. What is the priority? That is important. I will say my priority is high. What is the importance of this requirement in the application? Priority is nothing but. Now, you want me to maximize this? Okay. Okay. Now, creation date. Today I am creating this. Okay. And then product. Right. Usually what will happen in the real time means, right, you may be getting some applications here. Like what is the application? Like you will get a site close on that. You can select your application. Okay. Cycle. Now you have to clearly mention which release you are planning this particular requirement. I am planning for release 1. That is nothing but my April release. I am planning this. Okay. Which cycle you are planning? I am supposed to get this in my this cycle. And you can ask me like, right, so when business analyst is creating these requirements, how you will know that this requirement will come in so and so release and so and so target. So what will happen is there will be internal meetings within the team, and in the team meeting we will decide that which requirements will come in which release and which cycle. They will decide and based on that only business analyst will enter or tester will enter. So they cannot assume and then enter. They will be entering by having a proper discussion with all the team members and taking all the inputs from the team member only. They will do this. Okay, clear? Now if you want to attach like your requirements, any requirement is there, you can attach it. Now submit. Now see what will happen. This is how you can create a requirement. If you click on submit, see what will happen now. See, you are getting a requirement here. Requirement, and what is the status? It's not covered. That means it is not yet done. It's still in planning phase only. If you go back to your management, and if you go back to your releases, and if you go back to your respective cycle, which one we added? We added, right, just now? Let me check. That's fine. Let me check. Now you can click on this requirement. Once you click on your requirement, it will come like this. Okay. I mentioned, right, April release and test cycle 1. Yes, April release and test cycle 1. Okay. I will talk about all these options going forward. Just we are creating the requirements. I will talk about all the options. Now right now what it is saying is, it is saying that requirement is covered, and this is my requirement name is login functionality, and it is not covered status, means that is not yet done, still in planning phase. This is how you can create your requirement. And here also what you can do is, you can create your sub requirements also, child requirements. That means what I will do is, I will create some child requirement. Login with existing user. So I'm just, right, for your understanding purpose, I'm trying to create one more child requirement so that you can understand how this requirements looks like. So priority, high priority, what is the importance of that, and which release and which target you are planning. I'm planning for April release and so and so test cycle. Okay, this is used to verify, what is that, login with the existing user. So you can also create your child requirements also. If I'm a business analyst, see, if you see like this, so you can also create like child requirements for this. You can also do like that. If you want to create any requirement, right click, create new requirement. Now I'm creating one more requirement. Search functionality. Search functionality. Okay, this is the way to create your requirements. Okay. This search requirement is used to verify the search functionality for any order. Okay, this is how you can do that. Okay, now you can give all the information here. Okay, let me give all the information. See, I'm going module by module. If you have any doubt, you can always let me know. And one more thing, tomorrow, how about 8 o'clock CST? Is it too early? Let me give this. Now this I'm planning for June release. Okay. Or let me complete this only. April release only. April release. Will it work tomorrow weekend 8 AM CST will work? So I close this one, test cycle 2. I'm planning for that. Okay, submit it. Done. Now here, right, you have created all your requirements, right? You are having actually 3 requirements for your test cycle 1 of your April release. In this April release, I'm having login functionality, and login functionality I'm having 2 requirements. One is login plus another sub requirement is login functionality with the existing user, and one more thing is my search functionality. These are all the requirements I'm planning for my April release test cycle 1. Okay, clear how to create these requirements? Okay, now ignore these business models. This is purely for your BAs only, business analyst only. Ignore this. Now cloud settings, ignore. Now come to your testing. This is the job. Okay, this is the job you will do. Okay, now you tell me this will work for us. So now I will go with the testing. Give me 1 second. Will it work? Yeah. Okay, I can see Satish, I can see Pavani, I can see Anu. What about Ranjit? Yeah, Ranjit also is okay. Anyone I missed? Let me check. So Raju, you are also okay with that?
Yeah, 8 AM is fine with me.
Yeah, 8 AM CST. 8 AM means, yeah, for me also okay. Fine. I'll plan accordingly. Okay, fine. Then I will also send a mail for your reminder. Okay, now I am working with this. This is the see. Now when you are getting this tool, you have to focus this area. This area you have to focus. This area and this area. These two you have to focus, right? Defects. I will tell you like each and everything, what is this and all, how to use it and all. Now first let's go to your defects. First go to your testing. Sorry, go to your testing. So test resources. Test resources is nothing but like if you want to use any resources like any test data, and if you are using any functions, right, you can use here. So this usually we will not use this one. Here you can see that test plan. This is the one we will use. This is very, very important. This one and this one. These two are very, very important for me. Test plan. And here right now it's a fresh tool. Yesterday only we installed that and everything is fresh. That means no projects are there, no test cases are there, and this is allocated for you. You can start creating your test cases. So this is called your root folder. This is root folder. Just ignore it. Just create your new folder. And also, as I said, like just give your proper name so that right it will be easy for you. Cyclos functional test cases. You can give a proper name. You can give any name actually. Right? You can give any name. So only thing is here why I'm giving the same name means when you are giving the same name for you it will be easy, right? When it comes to that actual work. So Cyclos test cases. Okay. Now what I will do, this I folder is created. Now what I want to do is I want to, otherwise here what I will do is I will rename it. Let me do it in different manner. Just I will give a, so how exactly in real time, right, how the people will use, I'm trying to show in the same manner. That is the reason I am doing that modification, so that you will get a real feel. So here this is my project and I rename. Then what I will do is I will be creating different folders for your functional test cases, that means all your functionality verification. Then let me create one more folder saying that, right click, new folder, regression test cases. And one more thing, right here you can feel that this is a master data. That means here you can create your test cases here and then you can use these test cases whenever you require in your execution time. It's a kind of one-time creation your test cases, and it is a kind of master test cases, and you can use these test cases in all your execution. How to use it, we will learn that. Non-functional test cases. That means now, right, I'm working with my Cyclos project, and in that project what I did is I'm trying to write the test cases, and when I'm writing the test cases also I will segregate in a functionality area like functional test cases, regression test cases and non-functional test cases. Okay. Now what I will do is for each and every folder I will try to create the test cases. Now you can have a look how I am creating the test cases. Select your functional test cases, right click, you can do right click or you can click on this also. Both are same. Click on this or right click, new test, right click on new test, and here I will say that login with valid user. So I'm giving a test case name here. And what kind of testing you are doing here? Right now I'm doing my manual testing. Okay, select your manual testing, and here when you are creating, I'm creating today. So today I'm creating, you can give the date, who is creating, you will get your name here actually. Here in this drop down you will get all the names. Right now I configured with only one name. Okay, you are getting. Otherwise if I'm having the access for the site admin, if I go there and then if I add all your people, like all the participants I can add in my site admin. So once I add, you will get all the names here. You will get all the names. If you want, I can also add in the site admin. Then this is my test case. So here what I will do, I will give some description. Test the login with the valid user, like this. So this is what, like test is nothing but test case is created. Now come to your right hand side, here you have to work with this. Now this is my test case. Now design step, this is important. Now you have to write the steps, right? When you're writing your test case in Excel, what you will do, you will write the test cases, remember. So what you can do is you can start writing. Click on your new step. See, we will spend some time here, okay, but let me know if you're having any doubt. Now what I will do here is open the application. I have to provide each and every step, like how we will do in your Excel, the same thing we will do here also. Open the application. Now And here also I will say like this, instead of application I will say that open the URL. Now I wanted to give that URL name here like www.gmail.com. So but giving that URL in that hard coded value in that test case is not looks good. What you can do is you can create a parameters. You can create a parameters. Click on your parameter. Here you can see that. That means I don't want to give that URL is like www. Some URL, because when it comes to the next bill, right, or when it comes to the next bill, right, I cannot differentiate. So it's better to have a common parameter, right? Now I'll say that click on this one, parameter, and new parameter, and I will say that URL. Okay, what is the value for it? I will say like this. So my URL is cyclos.com. You will get your URL like this. So I told you, whenever if you are getting this kind of IP address, that means it's a local, your application is developed in the local environment, right? Once you are getting your URL with your like some staging or cyclos.com, that means it's a public URL. You can access that application from any network. But here you can access this application only within the network. Click on OK button. Okay. Now what you can is here like, see, now it is showing like this, how nicely it is showing. That means while execution only you can see that what is the value. While creating the test cases, just you will provide your test data, and during your execution, like you will get that values. I will show you that how you will get it on that. Now application login should display. Login should display. Okay. Click on OK button. See, this is your step 1. Now, okay, this is how you can write your simple test case. Enter username. Again, here also username means, right, I need my parameter. I cannot write my username as Prasad. I cannot write it. I want a proper parameter here. You can create your new parameter. This is called test data, simple term. You can also say that it's test data. Default value is demo1. This is your username. Click OK. Click on OK. See how nicely it is coming. So I'll say like this. Enter username and password. You can create your, see, wherever test data is required, you can use your parameters. Otherwise, some organizations, what they will do is, right, if it is a small team, they can directly enter the test data in the step itself, like saying that enter demo1, enter password, like this. So what they will do is they will enter in the data itself, in your test step itself. I will say that password and demo1. Okay, click on OK. Okay, see, nicely coming. Now my expected result is entered username and password should display. Click on OK. This is step 2. Okay. Step 3. If you want to click, just click on this. Step 3. And one more point is here, right, you can also copy paste your steps as well. That means, like, if you want to copy this step, right click on this. You can also do, this is a common thing, right? It's what you can, where is that? Yes, tell me please. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, why they are not writing exactly the username on that, instead of that you are using the parameter?
Yeah, fine. So why I'm using, you are asking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I'm using is, just imagine that I'm writing the test cases and then you are executing your test cases. That kind of situation, right, when I say that enter username and password, that is my username and password. You cannot execute with my username and password. So what I will do is, I will say that this is the parameter, and during your execution, what will happen is it will pop up. When you say that click on run, your parameters will pop up. During that time, what you can do is you can change your username and password according to your convenience.
Okay, what about URL? URL is using by everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, but still what I want to do is URL why I'm using like this means just imagine that say for example you are testing your application in the test environment. When you are doing in the test environment you will be having one URL. When you go to the production you may be having the different URL. You got the point?
Okay, thank you.
Right? Yeah, the thing is right, see that's what I'm telling you, right? If you have any doubts you can ask me. Just think from that real-time perspective, because right her questions are very valid. Why to give the parameters? Because if you are using the same user, right, so it's a valid. But think, right, just imagine that here I'm writing one test case and this test case will be executed by across the team members. That means, right, this kind of situation parameters are important because it will pop up. It will pop up and you are having this kind of values, this kind of data, and this is the default value. You want to use this value as it is, or you can update your values according to your data. And you can do like normal thing like copy, paste, and all. You can do normal thing. Okay. Now my third step is click on submit button. Click on submit button. When you click on submit button, what will happen? Home page should display. So this is the way to create your test case. This is the way to create your test case. Okay. This is the way to create your test case. Clear? Clear how to create the test case? Or any doubt? Okay. We will be creating one more test case, that is fine, but first I want to understand is it clear or not, this test case creation. Like this. Now if you want to see all your created parameters, you can click on your parameters. Where is that? My parameters. During execution I will show, that's fine. Okay, this is clear how to create your test case in your ALM. Okay, now if you go to your parameters, you can see all the parameters. See? Yeah, wait, I will do that. So Satish, right, that's true, I will do that. All the things I will show you. Whatever you require I will show you. Like Satish is asking, like I want to see that how to export my test cases from Excel. Yes, I will show you that. Before that, right, I need to check whether my Excel is available or not, and also I will show you that. Okay, once I am done I will come to that. Now see here all the parameters, whatever the parameters you use for this particular test case, you will see here. See all your parameters. If you want at any point of time you can change it. Now attachments is nothing but like for that particular requirement, for that particular test case, if you want to attach your requirements or if you want to attach any use cases, anything if you want to attach, you can simply attach. In your quality center, attachments also is very easy, and attachment is uniform across the modules. If you want to do attachments in requirements, defects, test case, everywhere the same process, you will be having the same options. If you see here, when you click on your file icon, then you can get your attachments from your local machine. As usual, like you can get it from your local machine. You can go to that local machine and then you can try to attach it. That is one thing. And here you can see one icon. This is very good actually. You know what is this? This is nothing but your snapshot. That means you can directly take your screenshot and attach it. You can take the screenshot and attach it. That means click on your snapshot. When you click on your snapshot, then it will open up your snapshot window. Now what you can do is you can just click on your now what I will do is, now I want to take this screenshot. Just take this camera icon and drag and drop which screen you want to add it. Now I wanted to add this screen. Whichever the screen you want to add, it will add like this. And once you click on attach, it will attach. So here, right, what you can is you can attach by using your file upload, or what you can is you can take the screenshot and then attach it. Both the things will happen. Okay, like this. Okay, fine. So yeah, any doubts till this point? I will talk about this requirement coverage and linked defects also. And tomorrow what I will do is I'll be creating what is that one more test case, and also I will be completely talking about this tool only next 2 days. I will complete this tool in next 2 days by taking little more time as well. If you have any doubt, yeah, tell me please.
I have one doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, if using the URL, we are using parameter, isn't it? So if sometimes the defect arise in our environment, it's different from other environments. So how do you send that URL to that developer?
See, environment will be same, right? Environment will be same. What will happen is testing will have one dedicated environment, and you will be testing your application in your environment. When you are getting that defect in your environment, while logging the defect, what I will do, the first step I will say, open the application, and then you will give the URL, whatever the URL you are using for your testing.
So it can be seen by somebody?
Sorry,
the URL using.
I'm not getting that question. Come again. URL?
So, we are using some URL, isn't it? So I mean, that URL can be seen by somebody?
Yeah. Yes, it's open, right? Yeah, you can see. Anyone can see. What you can see, I will tell you one thing clear. Now, if I'm a developer, I will develop that application, and then what will happen is, for the testing purpose, I will be creating one separate machine for you, and then I will say that test your application in this machine, and I will make sure that all my code is available in your machine. That is what your developer will do. That machine, everyone knows that. It's a test server. Everyone can use it. Everyone can know that it's a test machine. But right, what we will do is, we will never give the access to other people in our machine. However, right, now you said that I'm testing this application, I find this issue, and you will give that defect. You will give that entire steps. When you are giving the steps, as a developer, what I will is, I will check whether the same defect is happening in my environment also. This is where your environment issues will come. So I'm checking in a different machine, and then if the issue is coming in my machine also, I will immediately fix it. If the issue is not coming, then your developer will dig into that, why this kind of environmental issues is coming, and his responsibility to check that what is that issue, and then he has to fix it. That is his job. Your job is to raise the defect. Clear?
Okay, that parameter what we are using is, can be seen by somebody, or it can seen only by us?
No, anyone can see. See, this test cases is right. This test case can be seen by all your team members, whoever is working with that project, not everyone.
So what's the user parameter? We can directly we can.
Fine. Now, okay, fine. You are testing. Yeah, I will tell you. This is your login test case, right? I want to test this login test case with my username is demo1 and demo1. Okay. Now, next time I want to check the login with one more user. Right, this time what I will do is, right, I will, while executing, I will change my this username and password as different names, so that in the execution report what it will do is, it will say that, okay, first time you executed with so and so user and so and so password, and second time you executed with so and so user and so and so password. Got it? That means you are checking with the different usernames.
Okay.
Right, just the data is different. Just data is you are using a multiple data to test the same functionality. That is called your parameters. Parameters is nothing but just you are replacing your constant value. Instead of constant value, I can use whatever the value I require. That is called your parameters. That means if I'm, so just imagine that in my team like 6 team members are there, and I will ask you to test your login application. When I say that test your login application, different users may have different username and password, but it will not change. This test case will not change. Test case will be same, and while executing, once you click on execute, this window will open. Once this window will open, now what I will do is, I will be giving my value according to my test case. I will give my username and I will give my password, and I will try to execute it. And report also, like once you are done with execution, in the report it will clearly says that what username you used, what password you used. Okay, fine. Okay,
thank you.
Yeah, fine.